Today, I'm going to show you how I use the average cheap parts store flaring tool to make cut brake lines back into flared brake lines. Make sure the labels are up so you know what size line goes in what hole. Go ahead and tighten it up so you can at least get the line to stay in here while you go and get the next step. And apparently for us, that next step is going to be removing that 3/16 line because I cannot find the correct flaring tip for that. So we're going to switch over to 3/8 line. It'll be easier to see anyways. This is the tool that makes the first step of the flare. It makes the bubble flare. So when you put this down into the line and you compress it, it's going to create a rounded upper surface, not unlike the head of the screw. Now, the reason we didn't tighten this down yet is we need to get the right amount of this sticking up above the tool. And from my experience, the correct amount of stick up for this line is basically the same thickness as the base of step 1. Then go ahead and tighten down the line clamp. And when you tighten the line clamp, you want to tighten it until it doesn't move anymore, which should close the gap at the ends of this tool. If you don't tighten it enough, then when you go to actually compress it and make the bubble, it just shoves the line down through the clamp and you have to start over. Now we'll drop that 3/8 down in here. And after you drop that on, you take your horseshoe clamp that comes with it, slide it on, and you snug it right up. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna tighten the screw on this until our step 1 bubble flare piece is flush with that line clamp. Now, we have to release that and remove the step 1 tool to do step 2. And usually it does stick, so pliers are gonna help a lot here. There we go. And as you can see, we've created that first part of the double flare, which is the all-important bubble flare. It's rounded just like the head of that screw. That's why it's called a bubble flare. Now, step 2 to create the double flare is to just take the screw jack we were just using without that 3/8 bubble flare adapter. You put it right down on here, and we're going to do the same thing. Tighten it until it's basically flat again. I'm tightened it just to the point where the screw jack stops moving and I get a lot of resistance. Don't over tighten it or you can split this double flare. As you can see, the bubble part of our bubble flare is now gone after step 2. That metal has been pushed down inside there to make a rounded sealing surface, not unlike a valve seat. Really, really similar. And that's all there is to it. That's how you make either a bubble or a double flare with a cheap parts store line flaring toolkit. All right, well, we'll see you next time.